Hi everybody and welcome to Generation XYZ. I am Kevin Ferguson, the Money Man. That is Ollie Keohane, alias the Money Boy. And we got Shakes Rampedi, alias Shakes Rattle and Roll. How are you, Shakes?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're well. Let's dive into it. Ollie, give us the updated scores after 2 weeks. Who's leading?
So after 2 weeks, there's been a little bit of a hiatus here. Shakes, you're in the lead with 55.
Generation Y he represents, eh?
Yes, Generation Y, that's him. Yeah. Shakes, it's because you've hit 2 weeks in a row, 6 out of 10. You're sitting at 55. Kev, you're at 53. Just solidly working the 5s and 4s. And then I'm sitting at a lovely 49, having to pull back what was a terrible start to my year, as it seems.
Well, maybe you should just stop trying to cancel everything and hashtagging me too and my next and all this other bollocks that your age group gets in on.
Maybe I should read up a little bit more about the Premier League before we make these predictions.
Now, when I call you Ollie Boy, is that okay, or is it? I mean, should I be using a pronoun?
Whatever you want, Kev.
Okay. Let's get into it straight away. I wouldn't call this an appetizer, more of a wet fish to the face for a Friday night game, Brentford versus Watford.
Right.
I'll start. I thought Brentford were not bad against Leeds last week away, and I was shocked that we had to scramble and battle. It was nice to see Bamford come off the bench and score, and hopefully that signifies a better second half for Leeds to come.
Not this weekend.
It doesn't look good this weekend playing Chelsea. You're right. What do you? I think that Brentford win this match. I think when you look at the walking wounded for Watford, you've got 7 guys out with another 2 that are carrying knocks. You've got 9, and that team doesn't have a lot of depth. I know that Brentford have 5 guys out as well, but Brentford at home, I say 1-0 Brentford.
Look, I think one of those guys that you talk about is their goalkeeper, Shakes, you mentioned a couple of weeks ago, and Brentford have just consistently been conceding, which is an issue. And I see this just being a scrappy 1-1 draw.
Okay, well, you're at the bottom of the table. I don't know if anybody listens to you, but let's get Shakes, the leader's take on it.
Yeah, no, I gotta tell you guys that I'm getting a sense of the Premier League that it's almost as if like the top 3 you can sort of predict their result and possibly get it right, and then after that there's just results that happen out of the blue, and it's obviously sort of a risk in terms of how they play. I think Brentford did really well against Leeds. Watford, for whatever reason, they had that 1 win against Manchester United. They did well, but ever since then it's just been downhill. But I think I'm gonna go with a surprise, and I'm gonna say Watford to win this game.
I love your entree into that soliloquy. Well, that's why you're the leader. I can't argue. Let's look at Man City Wolves.
Let's look no further than Man City. I mean, look, Wolves very unlucky last week against Liverpool. But Origi pulling through for us, 94th minute. I think, Wolves put in such a solid shift. I don't think they can back it up against, a team of City's caliber. To get Liverpool and then Man City is tough on the fixture list. And I think City will put 3 goals past them. See 3-1.
Yeah, I don't think Wolves could score in a brothel with a fistful of 50s right now. They haven't scored in 3 games. And those games have involved teams like Burnley and Norwich. Yeah. So how they're going to unlock a team like Man City, I can't wait to see. It's not going to happen. I think 4-0 Man City. No need to get into that and analyze it over.
Sorry, my score was 3-0 actually, wasn't it? 3-1.
Okay.
Yeah, 3-0.
I say 4-0. Shakes?
Yeah, I have to agree with Kevin. Yeah, you said they haven't scored in the last 3, and they've only scored 1 in the last 5. So they're also showing that they're pretty toothless up front. And against Liverpool as well, I mean, Liverpool had chances. I remember Sadio Mane chance. I remember that Diogo Jota chance, that bad miss that he had. So they probably could have been wiped 3-0 by Liverpool if possible. But I think this game they're going to be wiped, and especially considering the fact that City lost to Red Bull Leipzig during the week in the Champions League. They're going to be upset. They're going to come back. And I think 3-0 is the right score prediction, like Oliver said.
What's Chelsea got to do with it?
I mean, no, I said I'm saying Man City lost to Red Bull Leipzig.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you said Chelsea. No, sorry. My bad. Let's get on to your team, your beloved Arsenal. Surprised last week that they lost to Everton. I think you were as well, but a couple of the walking wounded came back for Everton that bolstered their ranks, and surprising. That's 2 on the bounce now, following a 3-2 loss to Man United. I have to. I have to fancy Arsenal here, though.
Yeah.
Against a Southampton side that hasn't won in 4. They concede goals. They even lost to a Norwich 4 games ago. So I'm going to say Arsenal 2, Southampton 0.
I think Southampton may sneak one in, but it's going to be a 2-1 for me.
Yeah.
To Arsenal.
What do you say, Shakes?
Yeah, look, I mean, that result against Everton pissed me off a lot. Obviously, because of the intensity that Arsenal went into that game with. And also, I'm starting to get a sense of I know my team a lot more. When the atmosphere is too wild, they go into their shell. You look at what happened at Old Trafford, I thought they played really well. But when the atmosphere is just going against them, these youngsters tend to make mistakes. Senior players are not stepping up. And in the Everton atmosphere, if you watch that game, that whole stadium was just rooting for Everton the whole time. And still, they just crumbled again. So I think they go into an atmosphere that is much better. Southampton at home. And I think I'd go 3-1 Arsenal to win.
3-1.
Isn't Arsenal at home?
Yeah, Arsenal's at home.
Yeah.
So the atmosphere is much better.
Oh,
okay. Playing at Everton away or playing at Manchester United away.
I've been to Arsenal. It's like watching paint dry. I mean, what do you mean atmosphere? You get more atmosphere on Mars.
I said they're going to a better atmosphere in terms of that one shout.
I'm just being an elf. I'm just wanting.
I know.
Now you've given your prediction.
3-0. We still on Arsenal. 2-1 for me.
Okay,
Arsenal.
now I know that you tipped your hand there 3-0. You're obviously going to say Chelsea. So why don't you get that out of the way and embarrass yourself with that prediction, Leeds versus Chelsea.
Just the same way Chelsea are just going to get Leeds out the way and just sort of roll on over. Look, Thomas Tuchel, it looked like it was like an error computing situation with him. Chelsea lost to West Ham. It was like a machine shutting down. Didn't quite know what had gone wrong.
Yeah.
I think West Ham were quite surprised by that final goal too.
Yeah.
But look, Chelsea to bounce back. Not a bad team to try and bounce back against at the moment, with all due respect, Kev. So I think for me, 3-0 to Chelsea. That seems to be their sort of score this year.
They don't concede, do they? I mean, they continually giving up 9 goals in 15.
Yeah.
So you say 3-0 Chelsea. Last time they played, it was 0-0, but that was at Ellen Road. Look, it's going to be tough for Leeds to break down Chelsea. I'd be delighted with any point or even a competitive game, but I have to say that Chelsea are going to win 3-1.
Shake's going to tell us how Leeds is going to win now.
Wow. I got to tell you.
Tell me how shit Leeds are and then tell me they're going to win or draw.
Look, I want to say it, and I'm going to put out a case that maybe, because in the last 5 games for Chelsea, they've only kept 1 clean sheet. So lately, they haven't been keeping clean sheets. I think they collapsed against Zenit last night in the Champions League and against West Ham as well. I think especially the West Ham game, it showed me that it's not going to be Chelsea's year. And also another thing it showed me is that I don't think Tuchel is as good as what Klopp and Pep are. He's a very good manager, but he's just not in the same bracket as them. I would say that.
Well, he hasn't lifted. He's got to lift. He's got to lift a trophy, like with an English club to get into that conversation.
Yeah.
You're right about that.
He's won the Champions League. He's won the Champions League. So I mean that's
domestic. I mean he's got to win the Premier League. Anyone can win the Champions League. Even Leeds got to the semi-final 15 years ago.
They didn't win it though. But I'm saying that like with the squad that he has, he should be. I'm expecting a lot more from Chelsea, and I just think a lot of things are starting to show within a little bit of cracks within the team. And it's against Leeds. I really want to say draw, but it's just that Leeds, on the other hand, man, Patrick Bamford is back. That's a good thing. So I'll keep the score down to.
And Ayling is back.
2-1.
Thanks for that, Shakes. You've given us a bit of a shot. Look, it's the game of the week though for me has got to be Liverpool versus Aston Villa for the subplot that's there. Stevie G back at Ellen Road. It'll be interesting to see, and I imagine he'll get a magnificent. Sorry, what did I say?
Ellen Road.
I wish.
Where do your loyalties lie?
Well, I had become
Stevie G at Ellen Road. He's about to come on in the midfield.
Must have had a dream last night that he was. I wish, and so many other Leeds fans. But you've got a great subplot here with Stevie G back to Anfield. And I have no doubt the class of the Liverpool fan will give him an ovation worthy of his time served and accomplishments with that club. Saying that, well, who's going to win?
Look, I think Liverpool are going to pay their respects with 3 goals. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I am going to go for an upset. I am going to go for a draw. I think that Aston Villa get a draw in a 2-2 game.
Okay.
You looked at me that way when I predicted West Ham would beat who did I? Was it Liverpool? When I said that, and I picked the score 3-2. So easy there, Generation Y.
So I will keep it easy, considering the fact that I am in the lead of the predictions. So with regards to Liverpool versus Aston Villa, I think Aston Villa will show a fight, but I just think they're not on the level of Liverpool, and I think 4-1, Liverpool are going to humble Steven Gerrard and Aston Villa.
So they're going to pay respects with 4 goals. That'll be interesting. Yeah. Well, either way, I'll be glued to the game for that contest.
Yeah, I've got 3-1 there.
To finish up Saturday, we have Norwich versus Man United.
United have to start, kicking on. No better team to kick on against. 3-0 Man United for me. I wouldn't read too much into... I don't know. I wouldn't read too much into how Man United started their season.
Yeah, look, I think Norwich is starting to get a bit more difficult to break down. But Man United should be more than capable of beating them. Last year they beat them. They put 7 by them for an aggregated score of 7-1. So if Man United can't finish off a Norwich by at least 2, then they should pack it up, pack it in, and start again. So I'm going to say 2-0 Man United.
Yeah, I have to agree with regards to what you guys are saying. I think Kevin's right by saying that Norwich is harder to break down under the new coach. But I have to also say I think the quality will prevail, and I think United will find a way. And
did you just call Man United quality? Have we been watching the same football team?
I mean, they've got a guy named Ronaldo who's scoring goals for fun,
Yeah, but Ronaldo is now embroiled in that. He's trying to keep that rape case against him. He's been making headlines for the wrong reasons again. And
really?
If you read the Athletic, there was a story in there 2 days ago about him trying to suppress a Football Leaks document in the Las Vegas court, where he made a settlement of $375,000 to a woman who allegedly he raped in 2010. Now you don't usually where there's smoke there's fire, and I know there's a lot of Ronaldo fans out there, but you don't go around paying someone $375,000 if you didn't do anything wrong. I would assume, but I don't have that kind of money to be making those sort of mistakes.
Do you think?
So I think that's my point. Being is that this is a distraction for him. It's not the only thing that's going on in his mind. And yes, they Man United do have Ronaldo, but I wouldn't call them quality. They're no Leeds United.
Jadon Sancho, a bit of game time though. Let's see what he does.
Yeah.
Shakes, what's your score there?
2-0 to Manchester United.